Good evening, everyone. My name is Zahid, and I am the humble fellow who will be managing the traffic this evening. We are very grateful to three incredible friends and incredible human beings who are in our midst tonight. Dr. Sadhu Binning, who is a local person from Surrey Sahab, or the Emirates of Surrey, whatever you wish to call this city. We are grateful to Dr. Ali Kazimi, who has traveled all the way from Toronto to grace this occasion and to grace an occasion at the UBC, where he would be with Sadhu and Pervez, one of the recipients of the honorary doctorate. And we are grateful to Dr. Pervez Hoodbhoy, who has traveled all the way from Islamabad in Pakistan to be with us. And we are especially very grateful to all three of them for finding time for us and to share these moments with the diaspora community. We are all concerned. We are all concerned about what is happening in South Asia. We were concerned when there was a surge of fundamentalism in Pakistan and there was destruction of democratic institutions. We are now concerned because India is becoming like a caricature of Pakistan under the leadership of the new Indian rulers, the BJP, RSS folks, who are converting that bastion of secularism and democracy that was to ordinary people like myself when I was growing up. I looked at India as a guide. It was a secular society. It was a society that was non-aligned, their foreign policy. And since the Bandung conference, they were following what they were calling a non-capitalist path of development under the leadership of Nehru. It was a prime example of social democracy. And that same India today has become the best example of runaway capitalism and a neoliberalism. It has become a hot place for people who are Dalits or Muslims or Christians. They cannot live there in peace. And increasingly there is a threat to the survival and being of more than 200 million Muslims who call India their country and who live there, and they are being told on an everyday basis that this is not the place for you. This is India, this is a Hindu land, and it will stay as such. We have these amazing people. Ali Kazimi, his work has been from many respects informed by the concerns of racism. His analysis and a work that he did in the context of Komagata Maru, which was a very good example of colonialism and how within those colonial threads it was important that people here considered themselves as so different that they wouldn't allow people coming from other parts of the quote-unquote British Empire to come and call this their land. He has done a marvelous work. We are very grateful to him for doing that. He also produced that remarkable book that probably most of us have a copy of. Dr. Pervez Hoodbhoy has been teaching physics for over 40 years now. He has been a very powerful and important voice for reason, for secularism, for democracy, for human rights in Pakistan. He was active during the time when it was virtually impossible for progressive people to even breathe, let alone speak. Those were the days of Ziaul Haq when Pervez was teaching there. He was instrumental, I recall, when Dr. Abdul Salam, a great physicist, a recipient of Nobel Prize in physics at Quaid-e-Azam University, was to be recipient of an honorary doctorate that he is receiving today at UBC. Pervez was one of the few important voices that made that possible. It was himself, Abdul Hamid Nair, another friend of our Fahim, who is no longer with us, and the progressive faculty at Quaid-e-Azam University. We did it despite the fact that the chancellor of our university was Ziaul Haq. And it's his contribution, his work, that often put him in front of cannons that were being loaded and fired by Islami Jamiat-e-Talaba type of organizations. Sadhu is a great poet. He's a great writer. He's a great unifier. He has unified us through his poetry, through his work with the diaspora community, with his work with the peasants, students, and labor of this area. And he also, at this point, he has become instrumental in organizing what he called Gnostic people like me, people who do not have any church to go to or any mosque to go to. So we go to him and he helps us find salvation, which is very nice, you know. And that's the reason we affectionately call him as Imamul Nastiqeen, that he is the Imam of all Gnostic people. Before we do something else, I would like to acknowledge presence of some beautiful friends here. First and foremost, I would like to acknowledge Maryam Kazimi, who is Ali's mother, who has traveled all the way from Delhi. We are very grateful to you, Maryam, for gracing this occasion with your beautiful presence. Would like to also acknowledge Heidi and Anwar, who have come all the way from Toronto. Anwar is Ali's brother, to be with us. Very grateful. Would like to acknowledge Dr. Anne Murphy and her beautiful spouse, Raghu, who they have come from Kitsilano. It's another unique place. I would like to express my gratitude to Brother Charan Gill, who is a great comrade, great friend, has been so for a long time. Harsha and Harjap and their beautiful daughter Avanika to be with us. And of course, our Chairman Chin. We call him Chairman Chin because that's who he is. He is the president of South Asian Network for Secularism and Democracy, founding president of South Asian Film Education Society. He's currently president of Hari Sharma Foundation, and he is generally a kind of a troublemaker, who inspires other troublemakers and attracts troublemakers like Jovian, who has come from all the way from New York to come and teach here at Douglas College. If I ever missed anyone, Brother Nazir is here. He's an old communist. If you scratch him, all you'll see is red. Very thankful to Nawaz Sumro. He is engaged in the program of promoting science in Sindh. And he has done a remarkable job of translating the television work done by Neil deGrasse Tyson, his Cosmos program. He has translated it all in the Sindhi language, and he goes and shows that in schools in Sindh. Very grateful to all of you, and very grateful to all of you. I must have missed so many people. I'm really old. Today I enter Geezerville. I become certified senior as of today. So I'm really old. I can't remember. Prem Raja. So thank you. Prem Raja is from, he has come from Sri Lanka to be with us. So please have a seat. I would like to now request all three guests to take the chairs, and I will request Dr. Saif Khalid to say a few words representing a committee of progressive Pakistani Canadians.
Thank you, Zahat. It's a great pleasure and honor. So distinguished guests and honorable, I would call them teachers. So you are welcome into Vancouver, and I congratulate you on the degree you are going to receive. Some of them have already received. So very welcome to Vancouver, and we'll look towards you guides to give us the guidance in the dark days which are ahead of us in India and in Pakistan. So it's a really, really very hard time in history, not over India, Pakistan, but also in the whole world. Because as we see, the trend is going all the way to right wing and nationalism type of thinking, nothing can be more dangerous than a nationalism identity or ethnic type of division of the humanity. And while we are thinking of uniting the humanity on the basis of equal rights and the secularism type things, that everybody should have all the rights to express their views, to practice their faith, and whatever they want to say, they should be free. But it's very, very difficult to see things going that way at this time of the movement. So thank you very much coming here and giving off your thoughts toward here. Thank you.
I would like to then invite Dr. Chin Banerjee to welcome our guests from Sansad.
Thank you very much, Zahid. It's a great pleasure, and it's an enormous honor to have these distinguished guests among us. It's such a huge pleasure for us to be able to celebrate ourselves, our people, our community. And the fact is, and that in this, we are Pakistanis and Indians together, gives us greater pleasure and greater honor. I just want to quote, in this mood of darkness that surrounds us regarding the politics of these two countries, Faiz' great line, "Lambi hai gam ki sham, magar sham hi to hai." We shall have our day, and darkness encourages us to strive for the light. Thank you.
Well, now, before we request our honored guests to relate to us and talk to with us, I would like you to perform a very simple spiritual ritual. Take out these things we call phones. Look at them as if you love them, and then shut their voice. That will help you gain lots of karma points. Because in my day job, if somebody's phone rings, the sheriff takes it. So I don't have sheriff here to ask them to take your phone, but at least we'll shame you if your phone rings. So I would like to request Dr. Sadhu Binning to talk to us, and then we will get to Dr. Ali Kazimi, then we'll get to Dr. Hoodbhoy, and then we'll break for food, and we'll then come back for a question answer afterwards.
Thank you.
All right.
Why don't you put that one back and
Use this one?
Yeah.
just so the cords are less tangled. If you want to stand.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for giving us this chance to get together. For me and Ali, after receiving the degree from UBC, and Dr. Hoodbhoy, tomorrow he'll receive his, it's been a great week for me since last Wednesday. My family is here, my wife Jagdish, my daughter Priya, daughter-in-law Rosie, and my son Preet. They've been with me, and I kept them busy sort of going back and forth. And it's been a great experience just going through this thing. When I did my BA and Masters at SFU, I never went to any of ceremonies, so this was the first thing for me. And all thanks to Dr. Ann Murphy, who nominated me, and it was a big surprise. So this, and I have to get used to this Dr. Binning thing. It's when I started writing, my first few books are just Sadhu. Don't have my last name either, just Sadhu. And the reason for that was that I, for many reasons, I didn't want to give my last name because of the caste system that we have. And so it's Sadhu, and Sadhu can be Singh or Ram or anything. And that's how it was for a while. And there were people who thought that I was from this caste or that caste. And I actually thought that was fun. Later, I published 2 books with Sukhwant Hundal, so I have to put my name because it was simply Sadhu and Sukhwant Hundal, and I wasn't Hundal. So, but that's why I sort of, kept just Sadhu, and I'm still very comfortable with just Sadhu. And that was my grandmother who gave me that name, and she died when I was 2-3 years old. Just a memory. I'm not going to take too much time. Just to say that I'm in great company. Ali has been a long friend. We've been, talking about Kamagata Maru for a long time, and I was with him when he did a bit of a shooting here in Vancouver. And I think one time it was either early 2000 or 99 or something like that, when he was here one time, and he recorded some of my poetry at that time, came to my home. And so it's been a long friendship. And Dr. Pervez Hoodbhoy, I've met him a couple of times and listened to him. And I think I'm in great company, and that's the real honor for me, to be in this company. What we do here, and we've just gone through the election in India, And it's a scary thing. And I sort of have placed my thinking and mind for the last few years on thinking about how we can lessen the influence of religion in our communities. That's my sort of main concern, have been for a few years now, since I published my book in 2012, Nastak Bani. And so that's mainly where I spend my time thinking about or reading. For the last few years, I've attended a number of atheist conferences here, whenever they happen, and I met a number of these big names, Dr. Richard Dawkins or Daniel Dennett, or a number of other people, quite a few of them. Although I sort of enjoyed their books, but I don't fully agree with them because they are what you may call bourgeois atheist, and there's a difference. There's a difference. There's a difference. For me, Marx is still meaningful, and when he says that we need to change the conditions, until then, don't take away this this sort of one thing that these poor people have to rely on God, and so until then, so what I do is but still, I think this should be a concern for all of us, and I've written a number of poems, and I'm going to read one short poem which I just finished today. I was telling Chin. One poem that I've been reading quite a few times is called Nastak Hon Baad. This is in Punjabi, and that one is after you become an atheist. And this one is sort of before that, Nastak Hona, to be an atheist. Nastak Hona, ਅਣਦਿਸਦੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਕਤੀਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਨਰਕਾਂ ਸਵਰਗਾਂ ਦੀ ਹੋਂਦ ਤੋਂ ਨਾਬਰ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਗੱਲ ਇੱਥੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਖਤਮ ਨਹੀਂ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਲੋਚ, ਜੁਗਾਂ ਜੁਗਾਂ ਦੀ ਨੀਂਦੋਂ ਜਾਗਣਾ, ਅੰਗੜਾਈ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਅੰਗੜਾਈ ਲੈਣਾ ਤੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਜ਼ੀ ਨਜ਼ਰੇ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਵੱਖਰੇ ਅੰਦਾਜ਼ ਵਿੱਚ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ਼ਕ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਮੁਹੱਬਤ ਦੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਨਗਮੇ ਸਿਰਜਣਾ, ਖੁਦ ਫੁੱਲ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਫੁੱਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਾਨਣਾ, ਮਹਿਕ ਖਿਲਾਰਨਾ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਅਣਗਿਣਤ ਜੀਵਾਂ ਦਾ ਆਦਰ ਮਾਣ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਜਾਨਵਰ ਤੋਂ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਤੱਕ ਦੇ ਸਫ਼ਰ 'ਚ ਅਰਬਾਂ ਖਰਬਾਂ ਵਰੇ ਹਿੱਸਾ ਪਾਇਆ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਬੁੱਢੇ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹੈਰਾਨੀ ਭਰੇ ਸਤਿਕਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਜੀਵਨ ਦੇ ਵਗਦੇ ਦਰਿਆ 'ਚ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਨਿਭਾਇਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਬੂਤ ਹੋ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਿੱਕ ਨਾਲ ਲਾ ਸਦੀਆਂ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਸਦੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਹਿੱਕ ਨਾਲ ਲਾ ਆਉਣ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਸਦੀਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਗਲਵਕੜੀ 'ਚ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣਾ ਸਿਰਫ ਹੋਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਬੇਲੋੜੇ ਭਾਰਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੁਕਤ ਸਹਿਜ ਨਾਲ ਜੀਣਾ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ। ਬੜਾ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਆਇਆ।
I think I'll just sit. Can everyone see me? Always, I'm given the task of trying to follow up a remarkable person. So, thank you, Sadhu, for that setup. Like Sadhu said, I'm deeply honored, both by the honor of the doctorate, and especially to be in this company. When I saw the names that were announced, I really couldn't believe it. I got my invitation from the president of UBC on my birthday, so it was a shockingly remarkable gift. That there are, of course, I haven't got here on my own. I wanted my mother to be here to witness my acceptance, because she was here when I graduated from York in film production in '89. I wanted my wife and my brother to be here because they are part of what keeps me going. And so thank you. So I'll give you a sense of what I said to the students when I was asked to speak to them. When I came here, I asked myself two questions in terms of what is my role as a filmmaker. My mentor was a man called James Beveridge, who was one of the co-founders of the National Film Board of Canada. And he, in turn, was mentored by a man called John Grierson, who is known as the father of the documentary. And part of the Griersonian tradition of documentary filmmaking is to use film as a tool for social change. And initially, I bought into that fairly seemingly solid equation. But then I quickly realized that filmmaking and social change don't happen necessarily. One doesn't follow the other. It's not a mathematical equation that you make a film and something happens because of it. You make a film because you're part of a conversation. You make a film because you want to add your voice to a conversation that's ongoing, and I hope that would, in a way, using film as a medium to expand or amplify a conversation. So when I came to Canada, the two questions I asked myself was, how do I reconcile my presence with the ongoing colonial scenario faced by the indigenous peoples of this land? What is my relationship to this colonial process? And the second question that followed that was, how does someone like me fit into the Canadian landscape? Now, the Canadian landscape has been famously dubbed as the Great White North. And the whiteness doesn't refer to just the snow. And this was actually, I'm not making a pun, I wish I was, but this was a very deliberate construction that is deeply embedded in Canadian art practice, or even popular culture, that Canada is the Great White North. It intentionally had a double entendre, which was the whiteness of its population as well as the whiteness of the North in terms of snow. So how does a brown body like me fit in? These are questions that have informed my work since I started making films in '84. The first film that I started on was a film called Shooting Indians, which came out of this question, how do I relate to the indigenous experience? This was a film I was going to take with me back to India, where I had come here on an exchange. And eventually, when I stayed on, the film morphed into something else. It morphed into a dialogue with myself and Jeffrey Thomas, who's the indigenous photographer whose work I followed. Then came the issue of how do I fit in, and that led me to, of course, the Komagara Maru, because it's here in these waters of the city that the histories of India and Canada come together. In fact, the history of South Asia comes together, not just what we know as India today. And of course, in the middle of all this churn is my relationship with India. How does my relationship change? And of course, the more I learned about ongoing colonial legacies here, it helped me understand the South Asian experience of colonialism and vice versa. And then increasingly, of course, I've been following the transformation of India, and many people have said that this is a turning point, but this is not a turning point. Really, as somebody who's lived here for 35 years, who's gone back to India sporadically, I have seen the transformation of the Indian milieu gradually. So Modi is not the reason why this is happening. It's not the reason. I mean, he is simply a catalyst and a switch where this happens. But the previous regimes, although with their much professed commitment to secularism, have done everything to undermine Nehruvian ideals of secularism that I grew up with. And I've seen that eroded repeatedly. Yeah, so that's all I need to say, and I hope we can have a longer conversation. Thank you.
Well, I have a triple disadvantage. Is it really necessary? I see, I see. Because it doesn't amplify my voice by the slightest bit.
It just amplifies your...
So friends, thank you very much for inviting me, Chin especially. I come here with a special disadvantage because, first of all, Zahid has introduced me in such glowing terms that it will be very hard to live up to his expectations. Second, I'm in such brilliant company, saying everything that I wanted to say from inside my very heart. And third, I'm just a humble professor of physics and know more about physics than about the world, but nevertheless try and comprehend it in whatever way I can. And in trying to comprehend the elections in India and Pakistan, I've come to some rather disturbing conclusions. The first being that, the elections in India were actually elections. They were not, like in Pakistan, a selection. Because I happened to watch it from close in Pakistan, we all knew what the outcome was to be. Television was totally biased towards Imran Khan. They would not let a peep out for anybody with contrary views. I had been a frequent face on television for years and years, maybe 10, 12 years. And then in the last year and a half, I found myself totally banned from making even the slightest comment, except maybe on matters of science. That's okay. One could see the emergence of jihadist parties who had been regularized and who suddenly appeared from nowhere and could contest Nawaz Sharif in his home constituency and actually win. And of course, that doesn't happen in Pakistan by accident, it happens by design, and the design is made by the Pakistan army and nobody else. So that's one very big difference. India selected Modi. We did not select Imran Khan. We did not elect Imran Khan. And yet the two are of very similar constituency, very similar behavior. They are both narcissistic individuals. They are both wedded to the fantasy of nationalism. They are both excessively religious. And don't for a moment believe that because Imran Khan is a playboy that he is not religious. Playboys can be very religious. In fact, it expiates their guilt. So that was one very big difference. And it actually saddens me because look, if the Indians actually elected Narendra Modi, they then spoke for communalism. They spoke for the ascendancy of one religion over another. We didn't in Pakistan. There was, during the entire election campaign of Imran Khan, there was no move by any party whether it was the PTI or the People's Party or the ANP or the PMLN. They didn't try to create hatred for the minorities in Pakistan. And you know why? Because we've eliminated the minorities in Pakistan. Because they don't matter politically. And this is what India is heading towards the utter and total marginalization of the minorities, the religious minorities in India. How utterly sad this is that India should be following Pakistan in this regard. I grew up in Karachi. I lived there until I was 19 years old, after which I moved to Islamabad. And then I didn't move back to Karachi because Karachi has never been the same again. But in my neighborhood, there were all kinds of people. There were Parsis, there were Christians, even a few Hindus who were left in Karachi after partition. So I'm talking of the early 1960s, the 1950s. Now I go back to our old house. It's still there, miraculously. It's totally different now. We in Pakistan have succeeded in eliminating the minorities. What a shame upon us. Let this not be something that ever visits India. Now let me come to another difference between the elections here and there. Hyper-nationalism. In the elections that took place in in July of last year, 2018, India did not figure very much in the election campaigns. Yeah, it was there. I will not deny that it was there. After all, Nawaz Sharif became endangered. He was roped out because of his alleged friendship to Narendra Modi. You remember that Modi had suddenly descended from the skies and gone to Raiwind and had a meal with Nawaz Sharif, and that was held against him as being India friendly. But by and large, I do not think that there was much that was made on the issue of India in the Pakistani elections. However, this cannot be said to be true for what happened in India. Of course, you could say it is Pakistan's fault because we Pakistanis, have within us, on our territory, supported by the Pakistani deep state, those jihadist organizations whose only purpose is to attack India. Yes, we harbor them. Let the truth be told, you can find them everywhere. Yeah, now they've gone into hiding, they've gone into the background. Not hiding, but into the background. Once upon a time, as I used to enter the Department of Physics, my own home, I would see posters over there. Jihad-e-Kashmir fi Sabilillah. Join it. That's gone now. But that disease is there within our society and it needs to be taken out. It's a cancer that grows within the Pakistani body politic. Nevertheless, I come back to what I said, that Indian issue was not an issue in Pakistan's election. On the other hand, Pakistan was a very major issue in the Indian elections, particularly after Pulwama. But now let's come to a short discussion, very short discussion on Pulwama. The Indian Jaguars, the MiGs, they did try and target that madrasa in Balakot, but they missed. And they missed by many hundred yards. And so they got a few dozen trees, but not very many jihadis. Nevertheless, that muscular response was what made Modi win. And that frightens me because look at the extreme risk-taking that's been taken. These are two nuclear states. Each has the ability to take the other one out. And let's see what it means to take the other out. Remember that one bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima? It was a 16 kiloton bomb. Not very big by current standards. And it killed 150,000 people. Then that same bomb dropped on a Pakistani city or an Indian city, as Ramana here will tell us, will kill 4 times that number of people because our cities are now much denser. They have a lot more flammable materials, and the catastrophe will be far greater. But then when you multiply by the number of weapons that we have both in India and Pakistan, then it becomes unimaginable. And yet, in spite of this risk which would put both countries, flatten them, Narendra Modi decided that because this would win him the elections, he should take that risk. And he won it. So this means that risk-taking pays. And what is this telling future leaders? That they can also take risks. You still have a country, and you are the head of that country. So these are very dangerous times that we live in. I'm so glad that we're all here together, Indians, Pakistanis. Why should we not be here? We should. Look, the Pakistani state has tried its best to delete our identities. In Lahore, you will find number plates written in Urdu, Arabic, not Urdu, Al-Pakistan. You see, there is no P like in Pakistan, PP. There's only a B in Arabic. And now we are wannabe Arabs. We try as hard as possible to be good Arabs. Well, it's another matter that the Arabs don't accept us and they say that you're trash. Go back to where you come from. But we still have not learned. Today we go to Saudi Arabia to beseech them for funds. We go to the UAE asking for loans, and we get a little bit, but then it's not enough. And so we go to the IMF, and we keep going there. But look, the Pakistani state has tried its bloody best to say that you and I should not be together. Indians and Pakistanis are separate. And yet, because we come from the same earth, it hasn't succeeded. Let them try again and again. But the fact is that the genetics, you can't change genes that easily, you know. The fact is that genetics tells us that we are the same. There is scientific study after scientific study on that. And it's sometimes good that science reinforces what we want to believe. In this case, it is that. So in conclusion, let me say that I'm so pleased to be with my distinguished colleagues and to be with you. And let us say again and again that nothing can separate the peoples of India and Pakistan. They are one.
Thank you very much. So I don't know if we have a food out there. Okay, so let's then have a discussion. If anybody want to say something, make a comment, or ask a question, you need to come here and hold this microphone and say your piece in this microphone.
I want to congratulate you for saying that genes, India, Pakistan people have the same genetic construction and we cannot be separated. I am from Kashmir. And one thing I would point out about you telling us about the elections. This is elections in India and there was elections in Pakistan. Difference. I would say the elections which were held in India right now, they were all rigged. They were controlled by the election commission. They were controlled by the media. They were controlled by the what we call EVM, election voting machines. You know. So this was all rigged. It was all decided. It was manipulated. It was not an election. That's what my point is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. First of all, distinguished guests, just want to share our congratulations on achieving this recognition. This is really a well-deserved recognition. Brother Kazimi, I have read about you in the newsprint, but this is the first time I'm meeting you, so I really feel honored and privileged to be with you. Sir, what you said about the common things that we have is the genes, right? And that's very powerful. Because if we look at between India and Pakistan, there's so many differences, but at the root of it, we're all the same. And if we can start expanding that, then we will have a universal peace. I wanted to say thank you for bringing out that message. Brother Sadhu, I've known you, you're a student at SFU. You know, what you disclosed about your name and why intentionally you did not have your last name, that helped me understand who you are and where you come from. It helped me understand when at SFU you were talking about the responsibility everyone has, just like with racism, that everyone has a responsibility to speak out against racism, to speak about casteism, to speak about gender issues, because the people who are quote-unquote victim, they cannot do it alone. We should not be expecting them to do it alone. So you, by even dropping your last name for as long as you could, it meant a lot. And I just wanted to say, if for nothing else, for being that sincere and genuine, you deserve to have been given this recognition. And I also want to congratulate and thank Anne for recognizing that passion and the personality that you have. And I want to congratulate and also thank Sansad for recognizing these gems. These are part of our history. This is part of our legacy, right? We need to record it. We need to celebrate. Because in 20 years, 30 years, if these are not recorded, our future generations will not know the challenges we are going through and some of the achievements that we have made. So also to Sansad, I wanted to say thank you for capturing this history. This is a historical moment for me, and I really feel touched and honored to be here. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you very much. I have one big request to all of you, and especially our speaker, that India and Pakistan has been mentioned. They are at war, partition, communalism, religiosity, and all that. But we must remember that we haven't mentioned the big daddy, imperialism. It is not only the fight between India and Pakistan, it is a fight between capitalism, imperialism, and humanism. And it is a shame, I won't hesitate to tell you, that when we have, because Harjeet, Comrade Harjeet and I, we are the members of the Communist Party, we organized against armament, we organize against imperialism, we organize so many things, peace and whatnot. An Indian and Pakistani community, though they are Canadian, they are here, they take the advantage, and we should, but they do not appear on the horizon. We cannot do it only on the basis of community. We have to use Canada, which is supporting imperialism and getting good name. So it is my humble request, please do appear and take the rights of a Canadian against imperialism, against racism, against armament, and last but never least, we still remain slave. We are still have inferiority complex, and that is the only way we can be equal. Thank you.
Hi, it's not a question, it's a request for Sadhu ji. Could you please share another piece of your poetry with us?
Thank you. Punjabi ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਵੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਵਿਤਾ ਬੋਲਣ ਲਈ ਕਹਿ ਦਿਓ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਮਾਈਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਛੱਡਦਾ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਸੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਰਿਸਕ ਲੈ ਰਹੇ ਆ I think it's a risky thing to ask a poet, you know, then they never sort of stop. I guess I'm going to read the poem that I read last time at Chin's honor dinner as well. The one I read before, Nastak Hona, and this one is Nastak Horn Bad. So this one is a bit old, but that was a new poem that I wrote just today. Nastak Horn Bad, ਜੀਣ ਦਾ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਹੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਚਾਲ ਤਾਂ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਮਾੜੀ ਨਾ ਹੋਵੇ ਫੇਰ ਤਾਂ ਹਲਾਰਾ ਹੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਸਦੀਆਂ ਤੋਂ ਸਿਰ ਚੜਿਆ ਭਾਰ ਲੈ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਹਲਕੇ ਸੁਰਖਰੂ ਹੋਣ ਦਾ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਅਹਿਸਾਸ ਬਾਕੀ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਚੱਲੇ ਪਤਾ ਡਰ ਡਰ ਕੇ ਜੀਣ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਇਹ ਜੀਵਨ ਨਾ ਚੰਗੇ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦਾ ਫਲ ਨਾ ਮਾੜੇ ਕਰਮਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਨਾ ਸਵਰਗਾਂ ਦੀ ਆਸ ਨਾ ਨਰਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਡਰ ਬਸ ਜੀਓ ਤੇ ਜੀਣ ਦਿਓ ਨਾ ਕਿਸੇ ਤੋਂ ਡਰੋ ਨਾ ਡਰਾਓ ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਹੈ ਪਤਾ ਇਹ ਸਿਰ ਸੋਚਣ ਲਈ ਤੇ ਸੋਚ ਕਾਰਨ ਹੀ ਬਣਿਆ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਬਣਿਆ ਕਿਸੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਝੁਕਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਟੋਪੀਆਂ ਪੱਗਾਂ ਅਤੇ ਕਲਗੀਆਂ ਸਜਾਉਣ ਲਈ ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਆਨੰਦ ਖਾਣ ਤੇ ਹੰਡਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਬੇਹੂਦਾਂ ਬੰਦਸ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਜ਼ਾਦ ਕੀ ਖਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਦਿਨ ਖਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਿੰਡੇ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਪਾਉਣਾ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿਰ ਮੂੰਹ ਤੇ ਉੱਗੇ ਵਾਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਕੱਟਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਉਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਵਾਹੁਣਾ ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਸਮਝ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਜੀਣ ਦੀ ਤੇ ਦੂਜਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਦੇਖਣ ਦੀ ਬੜਾ ਅਜੀਬ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਅਨੁਭਵ। ਕੋਈ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਸਿੱਖ ਈਸਾਈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਵੱਡੀ ਤੇ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਾਤ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਕਾਲਾ ਗੋਰਾ ਭੂਰਾ ਤੇ ਪੀਲਾ ਨਹੀਂ, ਸਿਰਫ ਤੇ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਨਸਾਨ। ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਰਗੇ ਹੱਡ ਮਾਸ ਦੇ ਬਣੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਹਵਾ 'ਚ ਸਾਹ ਲੈਂਦੇ, ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਵਾਂਗ ਹੀ ਹੱਸਦੇ ਖੇਲਦੇ। ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਛੋਟੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ, ਇਹ ਜੀਵਨ 'ਚ ਹੌਸਲੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਾਰੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਛਾਲ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਛਾਲ ਬਾਅਦ ਧਰਤੀ 'ਤੇ ਮੁੜ ਲੱਗੇ ਪੈਰ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਹੀ ਲੈਅ ਵਿੱਚ, ਵੱਖਰੀ ਹੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਨੱਚਦੇ ਹਨ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਮਨੁੱਖੀ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਤੋਂ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਜਦ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹੋ ਸਦੀਆਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੋਏ ਚਾਰਵਾਕ, ਬੁੱਧ, ਐਪੀਕਿਊਰੀਅਸ, ਸਿਸਰੋ, ਸੈਨਕਾ ਜਿਹੇ ਨਾਸਤਕ ਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਰਚੇਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿੰਜਿਆ ਹੈ ਇਸ ਮਹਿਕਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਨੂੰ, ਅਤੇ ਕਈਆਂ ਇਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਡੋਲਿਆ ਹੈ ਆਪਣਾ ਖੂਨ ਵੀ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੰਬਰਾਂ ਵੱਲ ਵੱਖਰੀ ਨੀਝ ਨਾਲ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋ, ਇਹ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਕਿ ਅਰਬਾਂ ਖਰਬਾਂ ਤਾਰਿਆਂ ਸਿਤਾਰਿਆਂ ਮੁਕਾਬਲੇ ਧਰਤੀ ਦੀ ਹੋਂਦ ਤਾਂ ਰੇਤ ਦੇ ਕਿਣਕੇ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ। ਹੌਲੀ ਹੌਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਅਸਲੋਂ ਹੀ ਨਵੇਂ ਅਹਿਸਾਸ ਨਾਲ ਭਰ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਹੋ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸਲੀਅਤ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਵੇ, ਧਰਤੀ ਉਤਲਾ ਸਮੁੱਚਾ ਜੀਵਨ ਇੱਕ ਲੜੀ 'ਚ ਪਰੋਇਆ, ਪਸ਼ੂ ਪੰਛੀ ਰੁੱਖ ਵੇਲ ਬੂਟੇ ਫਿਰ ਰਤਾ ਲੱਗਣ ਨਾ ਪਰਾਏ। ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ ਬਦਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਆਸਾ ਪਾਸਾ ਅਤੇ ਖੁਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਖਾਸਾ ਵੀ। ਵਾਹ ਵਾਹ ਕਰ ਉੱਠਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅਤੇ ਆਪ ਮੁਹਾਰੇ ਗਾਉਣ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਹੋ। ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ, ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ। ਜਸਟ ਅ ਸੈਕਿੰਡ। ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ ਜ਼ਿੰਦਗੀ, ਆਜ਼ਾਦੀ, ਹਰ ਕਿਸਮ ਦੇ ਵਹਿਮਾਂ ਭਰਮਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਮੁਕਤ। ਪਰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦੀ ਸਮਝ ਸਿਰਫ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦੀ, ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਜਾਣਿਆ ਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਖੁਦ ਹੰਢਾ ਕੇ ਹੀ, ਨਾਸਤਕ ਹੋਣ ਬਾਅਦ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
ਮੈਂ ਸਾਧੂ ਦੀ ਨਜ਼ਮ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੀ ਲੱਗੀ ਹੈ, ਅਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਸਾਧੂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਾਤੀ ਤੌਰ 'ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਨਾ ਜ਼ਾਤ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਪਾਤ ਹਾਂ, ਨਾ ਗੋਤ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਗਾਤ ਹਾਂ, ਨਾ ਜਨੂਨੀ ਮਜ਼ਹਬ ਹਾਂ ਨਾ ਜਨੂਨੀ ਗਜ਼ਬ ਹਾਂ, ਬਲਕਿ ਸਮਾਜੀ ਚੇਤਨਾ ਸ਼ਾਊਰ ਨਾਲ ਐਸਾ ਧੋਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹਾਂ, ਦਿਨ ਬ ਦਿਨ ਸਾਫ਼ ਹੋਇਆ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ।
Thank you. I think we have been advised that the food is ready. So let's eat and then come back for a conversation afterwards, and there will be presentation that Dr. Anne Murphy will be doing, and we'll have more conversation then. Thank you very much. Kindly take your seats again, because we have a little bit of more business. Brother Ali Kazimi, come and have a seat there. And Brother Pervez and Imam Sahab. Well, first and foremost, a beautiful friend Anne Murphy and her department at UBC, and Dr. Ramana, also of Liu Institute at UBC. They have...
and Gurinder Maan, who's now teaching in the position that Sadhu initiated.
And Gurinder Maan. So they have a presentation. They will do that, and afterwards Anne will sing an Irish song for all of us, and then Shahzad Mia will make the presentation of resolution for all of us to consider. Then we have been advised that there are two people who are going to sing one song each by Faiz, a great South Asian poet, intellectual, thinker, comrade, activist. And then we will simply mosey on to our homes and have a good night. So I like to invite Anne and Ramana.
So I just wanted to say, I'm not going to say much because my voice doesn't carry so well. I just wanted to say what an honor it is to UBC. It's an honor for UBC to have the three of you part of the UBC community, for all you have done for Canada, for the world. Hanji, और इंसान होने दी गल कीती गई सी, so इंसानियत दी गल कीती गई सी. So you show us what insaniyat is. And so thank you for everything you've done.
I just want to add my word of thank you for coming and for honoring us.
Yeah, just to echo what Dr. Murphy was saying, it's an absolute honor and privilege to have all three of you up here. It's extra special for me because I started my academic journey with Professor Binning, and to stand here when he's receiving his doctorate degree is certainly very special. And thank you, sir, and thank you all of you for all that you've given us.
And in case you forget about us, just in case, we of course got you UBC swag. So when you drink your tea in the morning and you wear your t-shirt to go work out, and when you drink water and you make notes, no matter what you do, you can think UBC.
वन रोजा खुलेगा तो फिर And
Okay, Raghu has to come sing with me.
okay, he can sing Irish.
He does the refrain with me. He can sing our Hindi song too. So I always forget the words because I get so nervous. So, okay.
You got it?
I got that. 'Twas down by the glenside I met an old woman a-plucking young nettles. She ne'er saw me coming. I listened a while to the song she was humming.
Glory ho, to the bold Fenian men.
'Tis many long years since I saw the moon beaming on strong manly forms, their eyes with hope gleaming. I see them again, sure in all my sad dreaming.
Glory ho, to the bold Fenian men.
When I was a colleen, they're marching and drilling. I woke in the glenside, sounds awesome and thrilling, for they loved poor old Ireland, and to die they were willing. Glory ho, to the bold Fenian men. Some died by the glenside, some died near a stranger, and wise men have said that their cause was a failure, but they loved their old Ireland and they never feared a danger. Glory ho, to the bold Fenian men. I passed on my way, God be praised that I met her. Me life long or short, sure I'll never forget her. We may have brave men, but we'll never have better. Glory ho, to the bold Fenian men. There we are. So, glory ho. So the Fenians were the people who fought the British for Irish independence.
Thank you. Thank you. And if Raghu, if you can sing us
I may make some mistakes because I come from South India with a different mother tongue. So Urdu is not my language, but I've tried to do my best. गुलों में रंग भरे बाद नो बहार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बाद नो बहार चले चले भी आओ के गुलशन का कारोबार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बाद नो बहार चले कफस उदास है यारो सबास कुछ तो कहो कफस उदास है यारो सबा से कुछ तो कहो कभी तो बहर खुदा आज जिक्र यार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बाद नो बहार चले जो हम पे गुजरी सो गुजरी जो हम पे गुजरी सो गुजरी जो हम पे गुजरी सो गुजरी मगर शबे हिजरां हमारे अश्क तेरे आकबत सवार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बाद नो बहार चले चले भी आओ के गुलशन का कारोबार चले गुलों में रंग भरे बाद नो बहार चले क्या बात
मैं थोड़ी देर पहला परवेज़ होरां नूं कह रहा सी कि मैं बोलना चाहता सी I wanted to speak but the problem with me is that I am reluctant to speak in English. I think that I am not that capable in speaking English. My problem that was why otherwise I wanted to say to all these friends, I know Sadhu Binning for more than 30 years. I happened to meet personally few days ago Kazimi ji and today Professor Pervez. All these three people are really gem. They spoke very good, especially whatever Dr. Pervez told us. I was really amazed and happy to know that people like him are there in our continent, both in Pakistan and India. I really wanted to congratulate them. Mr. Kazimi, I have known his work. He has done a wonderful job about Kamagata Maru episode. And Sadhu Binning is a real friend of mine and a great poet and human being. So I have taken this opportunity to speak these few words. ਹੁਣ ਮੈਂ ਦੋਸਤ ਜਾਣਦੇ ਆ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲ ਦੋ ਇਕਲੌਤੀਆਂ ਗਜ਼ਲਾਂ ਨੇ ਇਕਲੌਤੀ ਗਜ਼ਲ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਕਦੇ ਕਦੇ ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੇਤਾ ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਸ਼ੇਰੋ ਸ਼ਾਇਰੀ ਦਾ ਦੌਰ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਣ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬੋਲੋਗੇ, ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਬੋਲ ਦਿਆਂਗਾ, ਪਰ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ 2 ਸ਼ੇਰ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੇਤਾ, ਪਰ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ 'ਚੋਂ ਬਹੁਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਯਾਦ ਹੋਣਗੇ ਤੇ ਜੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਦੱਸੋਗੇ ਸੁਣਾਵਾਂਗਾ। ਫੈਜ਼ ਦੀ ਗਜ਼ਲ ਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਸ਼ੇਰ ਬੋਲ ਰਿਹਾ। ਇਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸ਼ਹਿਜ਼ਾਦ ਹੋਰੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਟ੍ਰੇਡਮਾਰਕ ਹੈ। कब हाथ में तेरा हाथ नहीं, कब हाथ में तेरा हाथ नहीं, कब याद में तेरा साथ नहीं। सद शुक्र के अपनी रातों में अब हिजर की कोई रात नहीं। कब हाथ में तेरा हाथ नहीं, कब याद में तेरा साथ नहीं। मुश्किल हो अगर हालात वहाँ, दिल दे आए जान बेचाए। शायद वोल्ट बोल गया हूँ। मुश्किल हो अगर हालात वहाँ, दिल दे आए जान बेचाए। दिल वालों कूचाए जाना में क्या ऐसे भी हालात नहीं। दिल वालों कूचाए जाना में क्या ऐसे भी हालात नहीं। जिस धज से कोई मक्तल में गया, वो शान सलामत रहती है। जिस धज से कोई मक्तल में गया, वो शान सलामत रहती है। ये जान तो आनी जानी है, इस जान की तो कोई बात नहीं। ये जान तो आनी जानी है, इस जान की तो कोई बात नहीं। गरबाजी इश्क की बाजी है, गरबाजी इश्क की बाजी है। जो चाहो लगा दो डर कैसा, गर जीत गए तो क्या कहना, हारे भी तो बाजी मात नहीं। गरबाजी इश्क की बाजी है, जो चाहो लगा दो डर कैसा। गर जीत गए तो क्या कहना, हारे भी तो बाजी मात नहीं। कब हाथ में तेरा हाथ नहीं, कब याद में तेरा साथ नहीं। सद शुक्र के अपनी रातों में अब हिजर की कोई रात नहीं। मैं
Fozia Begum.
Thank you, Ji. I must tell you, I have better poems than what I am going to read. But I am going to read this poem because this gathering deserves it. You see, there is an overwhelming majority of South Asian men, so they need to hear this. Okay. So this poem was written, I think, in 2015 or something, when for a few months there was this discussion going on in Pakistan about whether wearing padded bras is against the Muslim Sharia or not. So this poem is called... Right, exactly. There is a photo of them, but it's doctored. So the poem is called Sharia Compliant Bra. And it's a dialogue between a mother and a daughter. So the daughter says, "Oh, mama dear, get me my Sharia compliant bra for the instant Islamicization of my alleged un-Islamic boobs." The mother says, "My dear daughter, dare I say you hardly need it, for the fruits of my toil from 9 to 13, when I made sure your chest stays bound in a white cotton cloth. The fruit of my toils, dear daughter, you now naturally have Sharia-compliant boobs and, but mama dear, the tits still..." "Hush, dear daughter, do not say the words naming the body parts ending with it or its." "Mama, you mean tits and shh. Evil on your tongue, daughter of Satan. Go wash your mouth with Listerine plus extra strength 5 times a day for the next several years to atone the evil on your tongue, boobs, and all other anonymous body parts." The daughter said, "But mama dear, and thank you stars, you were not born in a place where they clip it to make Sharia compliant. Now what should I call it?" The daughter says, "Bits, kits, lits, or chits?" No, not that. The other unmentionable, objectionable." "Oh, so, how about slit, clit, blit?" Yes, blit. "Where they cut and clip to create those Sharia-compliant blades."
All right. So I would like to invite Shahzad Mian to read a Sharia non-compliant resolution.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And you know, what a coincidence is, today is 28th May in Pakistan. The whole nation is celebrating Yom-e-Takbir, because that was a day when Pakistan became officially a nuclear state. And we have with us Dr. Pervez Hoodbhoy, a vocal anti-nuclear activist. So welcome again, Dr. Pervez Hoodbhoy. Welcome. I'm saying welcome.
But after you end, I would like...
On the commit? Oh, for sure. So the resolution actually, our Committee of Progressive Pakistani Canadians and South Asian Network for Secularism and Democracy, this Kartarpur corridor that was initiated just months before. So we thought this is an opportunity if we launch a petition that whatever is the situation between India and Pakistan, this Kartarpur corridor should continue, and we can make a kind of a foundation of a peace process, a neglected peace process, a discontinued peace process that's lingering on or discontinuing since 1947. So this is a resolution presented by both the Committee of Progressive Pakistani Canadians and South Asian Network for Secularism and Democracy. In 1947, British imperial rule on the Indian subcontinent ended with the creation of the nation states of India and Pakistan. The partition was produced with the displacement of 15 million people and death of more than 1 million. The injury of this violent partition continues to haunt both countries, producing wars, internal and cross-border violence, and the ever-present threat of nuclear war. Resources needed for the development of people's welfare are devoted by militarism, promoted by nationalist chauvinism. A people with a common history and rich in the diversity and flow of their cultures are increasingly threatened and deviant across and within national borders. In November 2018, the government of India and Pakistan agreed to set up the Kartarpur corridor to connect to the historic Gurdwara Darbar Sahib in Narowal, Punjab, Pakistan, which is the final resting place of the Sikh faith's founder, Guru Nanak Dev Ji, to Dera Baba Nanak Sahib in Gurdaspur, India, Punjab. The initiative has opened a new prospect for peace that is particularly relevant in connection with Baba Guru Nanak Dev Ji's 550th birth anniversary. Members of Pakistani diaspora in Canada, organized by Committee of Progressive Pakistani Canadians, CPPC, and the South Asian diaspora in Canada, organized as South Asian Network for Secularism and Democracy, SENSED, believe that this worthy initiative of Government of Pakistan and India should be further developed in the spirits of teaching of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. To heal the wounds of partition, we appeal to the governments of two nations, two countries to take another step towards peace and friendship of the people of Pakistan and India by creating a physical space, a sanctuary of peace, where Indians and Pakistan can regularly meet with each other, freely to celebrate and share their rich cultural heritage. Such a space should be used as Baitak, a proper sitting area where writers, farmers, doctors, engineers, intellectuals, academics, artists, sportsmen, and youth of the two countries can meet. We appeal to all South Asian in diaspora and in our home countries to endorse this petition to the governments of India and Pakistan, endorsed by Committee of Progressive Pakistani Canadians and SENSED.
Shahzad, thanks very much for reminding us that this is the 28th of May, which is 21 years after the nuclear tests. Just remember how it was 21 years ago when India first celebrated with mithais in the streets of Delhi, and there were mass celebrations across the country, and then in Pakistan, there was Yom-e-Takbir. And we said, this is the answer to India. We are forever, forever secure. And India said had earlier said it was the greatest nation now to have tested nuclear weapons. So 21 years later, ask these two countries what they have achieved. The answer is perpetual hostility and nothing beyond that. Nothing. They have not achieved security because they are both dreadfully insecure countries now, each afraid of the other, each afraid of what is inside each country. Nuclear weapons can never assure security. It is only people, the happiness of people, the satisfaction of people who live in a country that can assure that country's security. So I'm so happy that you reminded us. Say no to nuclear weapons everywhere, anytime, any place in the world. No to nuclear. No to nuclear.
Well, thank you very much for coming, all of you. Please have a safe drive home. Thank you.